The year is nearly half done. You know what that means. It's time for the mid-year book freakout tag. Hey book fans! Welcome back to my channel. I'm Freak Angel and I read a bit. And right now you may have noticed that I look a bit different and my environment also looks a bit different. Yeah. So while we're freaking out about books, we can also freak out about my new look. If you saw my last video, I mentioned that I got a new computer and it's better able to handle this kind of virtual thing. And being a virtual avatar, the most fun thing is I can just change my model anytime I want and have a whole new look. So, for now, this is the new me. Hope you'll love it as much as I do. And yeah, with my new computer, I can also handle having a virtual environment, which is fun. So, we're doing this thing for now. That, however, doesn't mean that I'll always be in a virtual environment. There will be times when I'll just want to be, in my book room with my books as I do. So there will be times where we will return to the book room, you know? This backdrop has not gone away, nor has this one or this one. So, you'll still get to see my books from time to time, but because we've got the new environment and everything like that, I think it's fun. So I think we'll hang out in those for today while we're freaking out about books. And yeah, on the topic of freaking out about stuff and, my new look, how about we take a look at the actual fit? Yeah, so this is it. This is the fit. This is the look. This is the whole thing, like top to bottom, A little bit of posing, a little bit of fun, like that. Now, I mean, it's no secret that I don't have arms that move in my videos. That's not a thing for me. Not yet anyway. Maybe in the new year. Who knows? If I'm still loving being a virtual kind of person, then maybe I'll look into having arms that move. But for now, have a few poses. I had a little bit of fun, because I made a new model. Why wouldn't I have fun with it? So yeah, I hope you like the new fit. I hope you like the new environment. I'm just having some fun, you know what I mean? So let's get into the mid-year book freakout tag. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Okay. Okay, so we're nearly at the end of June. We're almost halfway through the year, and I will say that June has not been a good reading month for me. However, as far as 2025 goes and like targets or whatever, I'm well on track. I'm actually well ahead of being on track, so that's cool. It doesn't matter that June has not been the most successful reading month. And we've still got like a week left to the month, so I'll still fit another book in, maybe two, maybe two. Who knows? Who knows? But in terms of things that I've read so far, at this point in the year, I've read 54 books, almost 55, because I'm pretty close to the end of my current audiobook. And to be fair, I'm past halfway in my current like physical read, but I've been reading it for a hot minute, so, 54 done though, and I always set my yearly reading goal to 50 books. Ever since I started tracking like a couple years ago, I think 2023 was my first year of actually tracking my reads. I just feel like that's reasonable as a person who still like I work a full-time job. I'm not like just a bookish content creator. That would be amazing, but that's not my reality. And I just feel like as a person who works a full-time job and wants to read and wants to make that like a priority with my time, a book a week with 2 weeks off, like an entry-level job, is reasonable. And to be fair, since I've been tracking, I've actually doubled that each year, like 2023, 2024, each year was like 101, 102 books. So, the targets don't mean anything. And I know I could change the target now that I've already passed the 50, but I don't care about it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, it's just a number. And if I read 100 books again this year, like I have the past 2 years, cool. If I don't, whatever. You know what I mean? At 54 with June not being done, I'm ahead of track even for the 100, so we don't have anything to worry about there. Now, let's get into the questions here for the mid-year book freakout tag. First up, and this surprising to be first up because it's kind of like the hit question. What's the best book you've read so far this year? I've got a couple honorable mentions because my pick for best thing I've read this year, you're gonna hear mentioned in quite a few of these questions. I didn't want it to just be all the same series over and over and over again, even though I was completely obsessed with it when I read it and I binged the series so hard. So we'll have a couple honorable mentions and then you'll hear that series mentioned for the first time in this video. So, best things I read this year: Sphere by Michael Crichton, Children of Time, Adrian Tchaikovsky, Skin Game by Jim Butcher, Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies by Heather Fawcett. And yeah, my top read of the year, if you've been following my channel, you probably won't be surprised with this: Dungeon Crawler Carl by Matt Dinaman. This series had me in an absolute chokehold. Oh my goodness. I cannot even begin to explain how hard I binged those audiobooks. It's so funny. I had been hearing good things about Dungeon Crawler Carl for a while, and I was curious, but I kept putting it off because I didn't know if lit RPG would be for me. I don't play RPGs. I've never read anything like it before. There are people in my life who play D&D, Pathfinder, stuff like that, so I'm familiar with the leveling type system. And yeah, I just went into it kind of blind, not knowing really what to expect, except that people love the series. And people, for once, are right. They are right. When people are telling you to read Dungeon Crawler Carl, listen to them. Seriously, listen to them. The series is hysterical. Absolutely amazing. So funny. Princess Donut is phenomenal. Carl is fantastic. The whole scenario of the book series, it's so funny. It's so funny. I cannot wait for book 8 later this year. If the audio comes out this year, if I have to wait till the new year, so be it. And I've every time I've been in a bookstore lately, I've strongly considered picking up like shelf trophy copies of it because I might want to read it again physically. Like I might want to read it physically as a reread at some point, even though the audiobook experience is phenomenal and I highly recommend the audiobooks. Okay, moving on. Next question. Best sequel you've read so far this year. So, Court of Wanderers, the sequel to Silver Under Nightfall. I read both books this year. It's a duology and I loved it. I absolutely had such a good time. It's like a thruple dynamic between a legendary vampire hunter and a coupled set of royal vampires. It's uh MMF, and I just loved it. I loved the poly dynamics, and I just had such a good time. And I love vampires, so it's not really that shocking that I would have had a good time with it, but it was so good. It was so much better than I anticipated it being. Another sequel that I love this year, it's hard to call it a sequel when it's like currently the last book in the series. There are more books coming, the series isn't done, but like this was like, I don't know, 17 or 19 books deep. But Battleground in the Dresden Files, yeah, that book was awesome, but also screw you, Jim Butcher, for what you did. Like, if you know, you know. Okay? But yeah, that book's sensational. The series is great, but it does take a little bit of warming up. Like, basically it gets better than the first couple books. Not that the first couple books were bad. They were good, but the series does get better as you get deeper. And of course, the best sequel I read this year, The Dungeon Anarchist Cookbook. I believe that's book 3 in Dungeon Crawler Carl. Yeah. Yeah, like I said in that first question, you gonna hear about Carl in this video because I was obsessed. I was obsessed. The whole series. Oh my god, it's just so funny. Like if you like humorous books at all, or if you are in the mood for something a bit more lighthearted, if you want something to make you laugh and smile, I legitimately laughed out loud listening to these books. Like, no joke. No joke. All right, next up, we have new releases you haven't read yet but want to. Oh man, with the never ending TBR, like, we could spend a day just listing books that I haven't read yet that I want to read. But I picked out a couple for this one. The Raven Scholar recently came out. It's slipping my mind who it's by, but I'll put the picture of the book up. It'll be there for you. I've heard some good things from some early reviews. I picked up a copy on a whim, like, I don't know, within the past month. And yeah, it's kind of calling to me, but I haven't picked it up yet. Speaking of things that I picked up recently on a whim in a bookstore, Problematic Summer Romance by Ali Hazelwood. I've read all of Ali Hazelwood's like full-length novel main release kind of books. I had my Ali Hazelwood moment last year where I binged a bunch of her books and essentially got caught up, and I've been reading all her releases since. I hadn't heard very much about this one. Like, it didn't seem very hyped. So when I was in the bookstore, honestly, I was at the dentist on Friday, and after I left, I had a little bit of time before I got picked up, and my dentist is in a mall that has a bookstore. So I went to the bookstore. Even though I had been to the bookstore like less than a week prior with a friend, yeah, I mean, I had time and there was a bookstore and I went in. You know what I mean? And yeah, when I saw it on the shelf, Problematic Summer Romance by Ali Hazelwood, I was like, how did I not pre-order this? She's basically like an auto-buy author for me at this point. So I grabbed it. Yeah, yeah. Obviously with a name like Problematic Summer Romance, it certainly screams summer read, and I have the first week of July off on vacation, so it'll probably get read in July. Let's be so for real, it's probably getting read during that week off, if not at some point next month. And what else? Oh, Metal Slayer. I've been hearing a lot of hype about it. Apparently, the ending is so good that people are like, just, it's worth it for the ending alone, let alone the rest of the book. So, yeah, I want to read it, definitely. And, oh, Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I haven't I haven't read a lot of her books. I've only read Evelyn Hugo, Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. Haven't read Carrie Soto, haven't read Daisy Jones and the Six, but I did enjoy The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, and I hear so much positive about her writing that I do want to read more of her stuff. I've been giving some thought towards Carrie Soto's back, but I don't care about tennis, like, at all. I mean, maybe I would still like it, but it's kind of like less intriguing. Now, Atmosphere being about an astronaut, I love space. I love space. Mostly in a sci-fi kind of way, like fiction, because, I love fiction. I'm not a nonfiction girly. That ain't me. I like to escape the real world. I mean, look at our beautiful virtual, surroundings. I'm clearly not in it for real life, you know? But yeah, yeah. I pre-ordered it, I have it, I just haven't gotten around to it yet. So as for some recent releases that I haven't gotten around to yet, yeah, there's a few for you. All right. Along the same kind of lines, how about some anticipated releases for the second half of the year? Well, I mean, I've been talking about Carl, so let's just get it out of the way. Dungeon Crawler Carl 8, Carl's Book of Boom, I believe it's supposed to be called. Whether that's the finished title or not, I don't know. Maybe it's a placeholder title, but whatever. If it comes out and near the end of the year, I'll be reading it, especially if the audio comes out by the end of the year. But the audio might not come out till next year, so we'll see. But things that are definitely coming out later this year. I mean, we were just talking about Ali Hazelwood as well. Mate. Of course, I'm highly anticipating Mate by Ali Hazelwood. I've read Bride. I enjoyed it. It's not my favorite Ali Hazelwood, which is surprising because again, I love me some vampires. But I did enjoy Bride, and I am very much looking forward to Mate. And I mean, we get the conclusion of Empire the Vampire with Empire of Dawn coming out in, I think it's November. I haven't read Empire of the Damned yet, and for me, that's a highly anticipated release for later this year. I know the book's not releasing later this year, but the paperback is releasing in Canada later this year. So I'm pretty sure it's July. Again, I've got it pre-ordered. I cannot wait to continue the series. I loved Empire of the Vampire. It was so good. So good. So Empire of the Damned slash Empire of the Dawn. Because I might have to get the audiobook for Empire of the Dawn or something, man, because I don't want to have to wait forever for the paperback. You know what I mean? I'm gonna want that story, especially if it's coming out in like early November. We'll still be in spooky season, even though Halloween will be done. Like, I'm gonna want to read it. Yeah, yeah. Jay Kristoff, man, he did the damn thing with Empire of the Vampire. Now, in the other direction, let's talk about my biggest disappointments of the year. All right, let's talk about the ones that didn't hit it for me. So there was Lights Out by Navessa Allen. I This is kind of like a I didn't hate it. Okay, I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it. And I had to suspend my disbelief with this book more than I do for fantasy books. And that's saying something because it's contemporary. It's dark romance and it's unhinged and just so far-fetched. I had more fun making fun of the book than I had reading the book. You know what I mean? Also, this next one, this one hurts a little bit, but Deep End by Ali Hazelwood, I didn't hate it as much as some people seem to, because I know there were a lot of people who were quite disappointed with Deep End, but I didn't love it as much as some of her other books. You know what I mean? It just didn't hit like Love Theoretically or even Bride, you know? It just I don't know. I don't know. Check and Mate, like even the YA hit so much harder than Deep End. Like I still had fun with it, but there was no real depth there, you know, not for me anyways. It was just a fun romp. And my top disappointment of the year so far was Gothicana by Runix. I expected to fall in love with this story and this romance and this guy. I fully expected him to be like a new, like, top of the line, creme de la creme book boyfriend, and flop. El Flapo. This one didn't super work for me. I really enjoyed the vibes, so like the atmosphere, the setting, the like gothic school. Loved the vibes, loved the setting. The story was, you know, interesting enough, but the romance was a total miss for me. Total flop. I had no interest in this man's at all, you know, and it just didn't work for me. This one pass. And like I know Enigma is out now and I haven't even decided if I want to read it yet, you know? And I'm not even sure if it's a series. Like I don't think it continues, but it's same author, same kind of vibes. I don't know. The books look similar enough that it looks like a series. And I don't know. I don't know if I want to get into it because Gothicana was such a letdown for me. And maybe I'll try one of her other series before. Like, didn't she write the Darkverse series or something? I'm interested in that. Or was that not her? Uh, maybe that's someone else. Maybe that's Rita Kent. I don't know. I'm getting my authors mixed up. Sorry. But yeah, as far as Enigma goes, because of my experience with Gothicana, I might want to check out something else by Runix first before deciding if I want to give Enigma a shot, because honestly, for me, Gothicana just wasn't it. It was a vibe. The vibes were immaculate. But yeah. Yeah. All right, next up we have biggest surprise of the year. And for this one, I've got a couple. We've got Revenger by Alistair Reynolds. This one I grabbed randomly during a sci-fi reading challenge last month, and I really enjoyed it. I'm definitely gonna pick up the next book in the series. Um, and it was just like a random pickup. I think I might have heard one person talk about the book once ever. You know what I mean? It's not a book that I've really seen people talking about like on booktube or bookstagram or anything like that. And yeah, if you're in the sci-fi mood, it's like space pirates, you know? They're basically like, I want to say, illegal salvage in space, which honestly, on that description, serious Firefly vibes. Although the book's not so Firefly vibes-y, but you know the plot. Then I have House of Sky and Breath by Sarah J. Maas. That's the second book in the Crescent City series universe, in the Massiverse. I've heard so much crap about the later books in Crescent City. People seem to love the first book and then think the series just goes like crazy downhill. So I expected to feel the same. And I put Crescent City on my 25 and 25 because in 2023 I read all of ACOTAR, in 2024 Throne of Glass, so 2025 it just made sense to do Crescent City and be fully, caught up in the Massiverse. And honestly, I enjoyed the second book. It wasn't like, 5-star amazing new favorite of all time or anything, but I thought it was really good. I honestly did. I had no major crazy issues with book 2. And I don't want to say I'm approaching the end of book 3, but I'm pretty sure I'm past halfway at this point and I'm not seeing, I don't get what people's huge problem with it is unless they just don't like urban fantasy. Because, like, ACOTAR and Throne of Glass are more set in more of a traditional fantastical setting, and Crescent City is very much an urban fantasy. But yeah, I mean, I don't see the later books as any worse than the first book. Let's just put it that way. All right. So I was shocked by that because of how much people seem to hate on the later part of the series. Another huge surprise for me was how much I loved Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies. People generally really enjoy it, so I shouldn't have been as shocked as I was, but I've had kind of mixed experience with cozy fantasy, so going into it, I just wasn't sure. I was worried that it would be like a bit slow and just not enough happening to keep me entertained. Looking at you, Legends and Lattes. Looking at you. Again, didn't hate Legends and Lattes, but man, I also didn't fully get the hype because people super loved it, and like I was just like, yeah, it was fine, like it was fine, it was good. But yeah, Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies, however, I loved it. I thought it was fantastic, and I cannot wait to read the second book. However, I picked up the gorgeous Owl Crate edition of the trilogy recently, and the second book, it's so giving fall. Like, the edition just looks so autumnal that how could I read it now or read it in the spring when I first got my, rubbed little book dragon claws on it. I'm saving it for the fall. Like, that's it. I'm gonna read it in the fall. It just looks so fall vibes. And I read the first one in January when it was still super wintry, and the first one looks wintry. So yeah, super pumped to continue the series. I'm just saving book 2 for the fall for the vibes. But of course, my biggest surprise this year, Dungeon Crawler Carl. Say it with me, Dungeon Crawler Carl. Yeah. Yeah, for all the reasons I already explained about how, like, I've never read lit RPG before and I just didn't know if it was going to be for me, and I just didn't expect to be completely obsessed with the series and absolutely fall in love with some of the characters. Yeah. Yeah, I'm telling you, it gets so good. It starts off amazing and funny and it stays amazing and funny, but it gets so intense and so good. And at its core, when you really get into it, it's very much a political fantasy, and I'm so here for it. I loved it. Yeah, seriously, seriously. If you haven't gotten it from this video yet, go read Dungeon Crawler Carl. Favorite new author, whether it's a debut author or new to me author. Again, I've got a couple. I would say Rin Shapiro, the one who wrote Silver Under Nightfall and Court of Wanderers. I'll definitely be willing to check out some of their stuff in the future. Based on number of books read so far this year, you would say Jim Butcher, because I read all of the Dresden Files. Well, all of the main books. I didn't read any of the short stories, like in between kind of stuff, but the main series, yeah, read them all, totally caught up now. And yeah, besides of what you did to me in Battlegrounds, which I'll never forgive you for, Mr. Butcher, never. How dare you? Yeah, I mean, I'd be willing to check out other things by this author, but mostly I'm just gonna be looking for, the next Dresden Files book whenever it comes. It's supposed to be coming. Okay, there was an announcement this year about it, so there's hope. There's hope. But in reality, favorite new author, broken record here, Matt Dinniman, Dungeon Crawler Carl. I am so willing to check out some of his previous books, but kind of the same situation as Jim Butcher, where I'm most interested in continuing with Dungeon Crawler Carl. 100%. But I am definitely open to the idea of checking out other things that Matt Dinniman has written or will write in the future outside of the Dungeon Crawler world. All right, next question. Newest fictional crush. Okay, so I mentioned that I'm reading Crescent City, like, presently. Of course, I love Hunt Athalar and Rune Dannon. Come on, I am not made of stone. I might be virtual, but I am just a girl. I mean, come on, I am Freak Angel. How could I not fall for Flappy Flappy Angel Boy with lightning powers? I mean, come on, you know? You want to talk about, like, lightning and stuff, and I mean, I could mention Zayden, I did read Onyx Storm, and I did reread Fourth Wing and Iron Flame, but that wouldn't be a new fictional crush. I mean, I've loved Zayden since book one, since it's released. Remy Pendergast and Zayden Malik? Yeah, yeah, that's Silver Under Nightfall and Court of Wanderers. That's our two guys from the throuple dynamics. Love them both. Our vampire hunter Remy and our royal court vampire Zidane. Did I call him Zayden? It's Zidane. Zidane Malik. Yeah. But top fictional crush of the year for me so far, Wendell Bamblebee. I know, I know, I know. With a name like Wendell, how could I? How could I? But how could I not? Have you, like, if you read Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies, how could you not fall for quirky little Wendell and his thimbles and his thread and his obsession with, like, cloth and clothing? Maybe it's just because I did a textiles diploma in college that I have an affinity for fabrics. I don't know, but he's our little fairy fabric boy, and he's so quirky and strange, and I just love an odd little dude. Okay, like, I love Wendell. I love Wendell. I love Wendell. Ah! It's fine. It's fine. But yes, yes, Wendell Bamblebee. I know, his name's so stupid, but it's fine. I love him. He's so cute. Okay, 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 moving on. Moving on. We're done with the crushes. Newest favorite character. Okay, Zidane Malik. Zidane Malik. Royal Court vampire with loads of power, and he's snarky, and he's quick witted, and saucy, and fun. He's a lot of fun. I also like the Hind in Crescent City. And I know, she's kind of a bitch most of the time. But she's starting to show her nicer side now that we're in the third book, like, spoiler. But yeah, I like the Hind. Sue me. I don't care. I like her. I like her. Also, side note, why did I not hate Nesta in Crescent City 3? How? How? Because I am not one of those girls who's like, oh, I love Nesta. Like, she's just so misunderstood. No, she's a bitch. She's a bitch. She's a total bitch in Actor. But somehow in Crescent City 3, I was reading it and I was just like, how I not hating her? How's she not like pissing me off this time around? What's up with that, huh? Anyways, top favorite character, Princess Donut from Dungeon Crawler Carl. She is a cat, okay? And she does cat things. She has cat mannerisms. She has cat personality. But she also, talks and has higher intelligence than you would expect of a cat. She has higher intelligence stats than some of the human or humanoid competitors in the dungeon. She's so saucy, snarky, and all she wants to do is chase clout to like win the game and get fans and be popular. And she's so funny. And oh my god, Princess Donut. Princess Donut, Princess Donut. Yes, yes. My favorite character so far this year is a cat. Deal with it. Accept it. It's fine. Go read it. Go read it and fall in love with Princess Donut for yourself. Okay, next up, a book that made me cry. Battleground, the final book in, or well, currently final book in the Dresden Files. Jim Butcher, you know what you did. Okay? Okay? And fuck you for doing it. Because holy crap, did I sob. I was not okay. I was not okay. Would I have been mad about a prominent character death? Yes. Yes. I would have been mad about it anyways. But the way it went down, ooh, you did that character so dirty. So dirty. I don't accept that. That was not okay. The way that it went down and the timing. Oh, no. It was like things were finally starting to happen. We had been waiting so long, so many books waiting, and we finally start to get a good. Things were finally starting to go good, and then, oh, man, that sucked. That sucked. That was so harsh, and you did that character so dirty. It didn't have to go down that way. Itchy trigger finger FBI prick. Okay, okay. Spoilery rant over. But yeah, Battleground made me cry for sure. Now, if I were to have reread The Sword of the Kaigen like I read last year, yeah, nothing's ever made me cry the way The Sword of the Kaigen made me cry. But that was last year, not this year, so until I read it again, it's fine. Okay, next, a book that made me happy. So, total opposite of book that made me cry. Yeah, okay, let's just get it out of the way. Dungeon Crawler Carl. I keep telling you how funny it is. How could it have not made me happy? I was cracking up laughing. Absolutely dying laughing. So, oh, yeah, Dungeon Crawler Carl. Whole series. Hysterical. Make you happy every time. Even though one of those books also made me cry. Now that I'm thinking about it. Yeah, I definitely could have put that in there as well. Dang. Okay. Another book that made me happy, Silver Under Nightfall, The Thruple Dynamics. I was living. And the book that made me the most happy, Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies. The cozy fantasy actually did the thing that cozy fantasy is supposed to do. It gave me that warm hug, cozy, happy feeling. It was just so sweet and wholesome and yeah, cute. Just cute. We're almost at the end here. Books that I need to read by the end of the year. This could just be the rest of my 25 and 25 list. Let's be so for real. The Crimson Moth or Heartless Hunter, depending where you live, the title is different. I really want to read it. It was a big hit release of last year. I own it. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. The second book, Rebel Witch, came out earlier this year. And yeah, I totally missed the hype train for that. And I want to know. I want to know. Like I said, I already own it. There's no reason that I haven't read it yet, except that I haven't. The Night Circus by Eric Morgenstern and Vicious by B.E. Schwab. They're two TBR veterans. They've been sitting on my shelves for a couple years. They're on my 25 and 25. I need to get to them. And I fully expect that I'm going to love them both. And I think that maybe that's part of why I keep putting them off. I'm treating them like rainy day books. Like I'm trying to save them for the perfect moment, but I just need to read them. I need to know. I need to know if I love them as much as I expect that I'm going to, you know? And top book I need to read before the year is out, Empire of the Damned. I already mentioned it. I'm just waiting for the paperback, which I should have in I think July. So it's going to happen. I'll probably save it for closer to the fall, spooky season, vampire vibes. But yeah, that's the top one I need to read by the end of the year. And the final question for the mid-year book freakout tag on the list that I have here, favorite book to movie adaptation. I'll be so for real, I don't actually watch a crazy lot of movies anymore. Even though I went to a movie this weekend, I went and saw Ballerina. I love the John Wick franchise. Number four is still my favorite, but Ballerina was phenomenal. It was great, but John Wick 4 is still the best. The best. But that's not book to movie. That's just a side tangent. So how about we go book to TV show? I mean, that's still an adaptation. Murderbot. The Murderbot Diaries, Apple TV Plus started the televised adaptation in May. There are currently, I think, 7 episodes out, and I'm totally caught up. I've been watching it week to week. I purposely got Apple TV Plus just to watch it. Okay? That's how much I wanted to see the series. And it's pretty good. I'm having a really good time with it. It's really funny, which is fair for the Murderbot series. And yeah, it's got Alexander Skarsgård as Murderbot, and it's really fun. It's really fun. I'm really enjoying it. I hate that it's weekly episodic because I would have just binged it all if I had the option. I am more of a binger. But yeah, I'm really enjoying the Murderbot adaptation. I think it's been handled relatively well. I was a little bit skeptical after like the premiere of the first 2 episodes because there was something a little bit off about the characterization. And honestly, I think it was largely just that there was a lot of Garathan in the first couple episodes because he's so awkward and strange. But as it's had a little bit of time to stew and marinate, yeah, I'm really enjoying the series. I'm really excited for how they're gonna conclude the first season because it seems to be like everything in season one is from book one, All Systems Red. And yeah, I mean, I only have one book left to read in the Murderbot Diaries. I read the sixth book, I think it was last month. And yeah, so I'm really enjoying it and I'm really looking forward to seeing how they conclude the season. And I hope it gets more seasons because my favorite character in the Murderbot Diaries isn't in the first book. So we haven't got my favorite character in the show yet. And I hope we do. My favorite character is Art, the asshole research transport unit. Yep, you got it right. My favorite character is a ship. And yeah, if you've read the book, you'll get it. You'll get it. But yeah, that's gonna be it for the mid-year book freakout tag for me. Let me know down in the comments if you've read any of these books or answer some of the questions. Let me know what's the top book you've read so far this year in the first half of 2025. What's some of your favorite characters? Ooh, tell me your fictional crush. I love knowing about new fictional crushes. Let me know what characters I need to be checking out for myself and see if I can have that same fictional crush kind of feeling because it's always fun. It's always fun. Yeah, drop a comment. Let me know about your first half of the year in reading, how things been going for you. And if you like this video, be sure to drop a like. It really helps the channel out. And subscribe for more bookish content to come in the future. I'd love to have you. Bye-bye.